Today we're going to make a cocktail that has the staple template for anything you need to learn about craft cocktails, including, by the end of the episode, if you stay through the whole thing, some crazy garnish designs by Ian on the fly. Put down your sexy ice, it's time to make a cocktail! That's Ian. This is Derrick. Go!
This is a wide awake old fashioned.
Oh yeah, it is.
So it fits with Derrick's personality because he's wide awake, and it's he's like doing an '80s dance here.
Is that '80s? Kurt always did that. So yeah, I guess it would be.
Let's say a robot or something. I don't know. It's produced today by
it is
Anthony Weiler.
Hey, Anthony and Weiler.
I feel like Vanna White.
Well, there you go. That's Vanna.
Yeah.
All right. You got. She's got these.
What am I too lazy to grab?
Oh, he said you pimping wild turkey today.
Oh,
just another whiskey.
So, whatever.
I wish you can pay us.
The recipe is we got a sugar cube.
Oh,
we got 2 ounces of bourbon. We're using Wild Turkey 101 again.
God, that was what was made. That's what this is made with.
Look at that. We're using coffee bitters, homemade by you.
Right ahead.
With a Wild Turkey.
And you don't even have to be a Patreon subscriber to see that. It's right on the channel.
And we're using a teaspoon of club soda. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the ice cube, the bitters, and the club soda. We're going to muddle them in the glass.
Yeah.
Right? Until the...
We'll figure that out.
We got plenty of others.
I know, I got like 8 of them in there.
Until the sugar's dissolved.
Oh, this is a classic.
Then we're gonna pour the bourbon in there, top it with ice, and we're gonna flame some orange oil on top because fire is fun.
Fire is fun.
Let's face it.
Hey. 10K. They don't even exist anymore.
So that's like an excellent piece of equipment.
Yeah, they sent it to me when they did exist.
I imagine they didn't send it to you before or after they existed.
Nope.
You say dashes? Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. This stuff's awesome. So
we'll just do a bunch.
Yeah.
We want to saturate that sugar cube.
Yeah!
And then a little bit.
Saturate it. Actually, a dash is usually emptying the whole thing.
Okay, then. That's 2 dashes then.
Yeah. Because that's how those dashes typically work. I base my dashes off of what the folks at Bitterman's, Avery from Bitterman says the dashes to drain, to empty the.
I'm going to guesstimate the teaspoon here. Is that fair?
I don't care. Either or you could just use a bar spoon, but it's not much. So for those that are curious, the bitters nerds, a dash is typically this. And the reason is you can never fill this dropper all the way to the top. That's just not how physics works.
Because there's only so much air that you can get from that dropper.
Right.
That's the volume of that.
So that is a dash. You do 3 of those for 3 dashes. While that sometimes differentiates based on the brand, most droppers, you can pretty much use a dash as a dash. If you have a dasher, it should be about the same amount. If it's a sampler set, like the little Scrappy's bitter samplers, any of those, you have to shake that thing like 10 times for a dash. Hey, you're doing it right next to the camera too. Yeah, Jeff is gonna love that.
I know, look at me.
You can use the footage.
Learning and shit.
You can be taught.
So the pairing here really is, if you watch this video, if I can remember, that, my friends, if you're wondering, is why this is called Common Man Cocktails.
We suck our muddlers.
People are like, oh, you have a bar now, so you're not really Common Man. I'm like, yeah, watch
the
this.
show.
The coffee bitters, they'll be at the end of this episode.
That's what bartenders do, no?
Yeah, obviously.
How else do you clean something?
Yeah.
It's like the saliva.
Look at dogs
beer.
and cats. How do they clean stuff? They lick it.
Right.
And they have the cleanest mouths, right?
They're natural.
Yeah, it's an all natural.
If only you licked your bum, you would have the cleanest bum ever.
Anyway, so these bitters
anyway, let's change topic.
are made with orange peel. They're made with coffee. They're made with, in this case, Wild Turkey 101. Nice. Oh, it doesn't fit. Oh, you know what make it wicked, Common Man? If you push it down so hard, it's shattered.
I'm going to let the pressure...
You could do that.
Do its...
You think the pressure's going to be that easy? How does that work? Physics and pressure and all that.
Pressure? You apply... See how it's going in there?
Yeah, but...
The knife's going in also.
Because that's also pressure.
Because it's also pressure, yeah.
So
we can do this.
And now you're adding heat. Science! So that is the key ingredients for this. You also need, if you want to make this at home and you don't want to look at my recipe right now, obviously you can wait till after, you could go to Mountain Rose Herbs. It's all the links inside of the bitters. And you could pick up what did I use for this? I used cherry bark for this one. This is a cherry bark, which is the same the same bittering agent used for cherry bark vanilla bitters from our friends over at Bitter Cube. Oh, nice! Did you burn yourself?
Just a little bit. It's okay though.
Yeah, it's always fun though. It's cool when you caramelize and your skin follicles into there too. So you have skin follicles. Is it a verb if they frolic? It's kind of like frolicking for skin molecules, for skin cells.
They do that.
Yeah. So all of your drinks should have
flocculate,
a muddler full of saliva and a drink full of dead white
follicles.
Or
brown follicles, or
this way just a bit.
green follicles, whatever color your
like
skin
that.
is. Well, it's all brown actually by the time it's burnt. So
yeah, probably caramelized Ian hairs.
Ian hairs.
Yeah. And
oh, we got a budding photographer in the family.
he's even wearing a fedora.
I know, right? It's so classic. I love this club soda too. It's good.
You're gonna have some of that? Well, we got a lot. So when you're done with this drink, you can hydrate because you don't use that much. This look it, okay? If there's any argument right now for clear ice, that's the argument. It looks like the orange is just floating right there.
And it just fits
it
so well in
accents
there.
the orange by not distracting with the white. If it was just a big white box, you'd be like, oh, it's just a cocktail. Now it's a piece of art. I'm gonna try it.
It's a handcrafted kind of piece of ice in that cocktail.
Lots of extra effort with the caramelizing and.
Liam helped.
Then Liam helped.
And you want to make, you were talking about Mountain Herb. You want to eventually make creme de cacao too, don't you?
Creme de cacao. Yeah, I gotta buy more cacao nibs for that.
Yeah.
See,
That's a tasty old fashioned right there.
That's a strong drink, but
But
done
an old
different.
fashioned is a strong drink.
Right, but didn't you notice like when we did what was the
You're
drink?
also using 101.
The white Ukraine. Yeah, it's a higher proof. But when we created the white Ukrainian, it was potent, but it didn't have flavor to the alcohol. It was like
It had
ethanol.
alcohol to the alcohol.
Right. Ethanol as a base is not really that much fun, but when you bring in a rich oak flavor and you get the coffee,
Yeah.
you get that like little coffee kick. It tastes. It's so subtle amount of. Well, it's not really that subtle amount of coffee. You can get coffee, but it's not like adding coffee into the drink.
No.
It's almost like a dark roast essence. It's present there.
It's
but
cool
it's
that
not,
the base is the same that we're using. I mean, that.
yeah, it just blends in and
I think it
leaves the
blends well.
coffee. It's got the orange, which is very muted in the bitter.
The only thing I might have done differently is instead of using the.
Oh, you mean
butane?
instead of putting butane and white blood cells in there?
Yeah, I would have lit this
Yeah,
and then
no,
flamed it with a piece of wood, just because you get a little bit of the butane aftertaste. I could definitely smell it when I was flaming it. But.
The other thing you could do, which I will, maybe this recipe or another recipe like it, but over the course of the next few weeks, maybe even less by the time this video publishes, is I just bought from a glass blower in Czech Republic. Mm-hmm. I bought these beautiful glasses that I'm going to sell in the store. They're round,
Nice. Oh, cool.
like circular.
Do you have
with
it
a
yet?
straw? No.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I have two.
You know,
Oh, is it like that from that video that you said?
those are exactly the ones I bought.
Those are the ones.
So it's a round bulb. There's a drink. Antonin sent me the link, I think, originally. It's a smoked cocktail, and you smoke. You put the smoke. It's got like a cork in it. You build the cocktail in this thing. You put the smoke in there. Put the cork on. Flip it upside down, and there's a hole. And you put your straw in it, and you drink right out of there, and the smoke just flows around inside. So I bought.
Very cool.
I bought like about $800 worth of these things.
Which is only like 2. Just kidding.
No, it's like 50. But and then
But
there's
it is in
imports
euros.
and their shipping is like $380 or $350. It's not. I'm shipping from Czech,
Shipping glass from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Is that
nobody else has this.
is that insured?
Probably.
Is it shipment? I hope.
Well, I worked with the rep, so I'm sure it's insured. Everything I do with DHL is insured. This is a nice little drink. You know what I like about this? I'm a huge coffee nerd, and which, by the way, he's just gonna burn we just squeeze the whole thing and light it on fire. If I had people have asked us about if you had
That's a
another
good
show, I know. If you had another show, what would it be? A coffee.
It'd be coffee.
Coffee YouTube channel would be awesome.
But David sent you the link.
David did? David.
Said, I sent you the link. That glass is cool.
David. Which David?
War.
Oh, David. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Warhead.
Meanwhile,
no,
Antonin says about time I get credit for
maybe he did. I don't know. I get a lot of links. I get a lot of links from Antonin. So The thing is,
I get a lot of Snapchats from Antonin.
I get those.
Okay.
I get a lot of Snapchats in general.
That's like Antonin's like the only person I get Snapchats from.
I usually get 6 or 7.
Antonin. I keep saying Antonin, but
Yeah.
we all know
It's
it's not
written that way. This drink
That's how you
fits
read it.
We're English.
it fits my nerdiness for coffee because it has
Yes.
the coffee flavor, but it's not coffee, and it has a old fashioned flavor. It's got the intense bourbon.
It's the classic
got the
cocktail
citrus.
with a coffee twist.
Yeah, and a little bit of coffee.
It's got all the great things. It's got the clear ice. It's got the cool flamed orange. It's got the
Everything.
homemade bitters.
This is like a craft cocktail. If people need education on how to make a craft cocktail, if you can reproduce what we just did from bitters to the garnish style to the build and the clear ice, that template can be carried into any single drink you do.
And I think an old fashioned is a great. You have to learn how to make
Like
a
a-
good old fashioned, not a.
It's like the
what was that
foundation.
website with the girl making the old fashioned.
yeah.
Was that? Oh yeah, just
Mahalo.
Yeah.
1 ounce of or whatever. No, that's just
3
about
ounces
it,
of
yeah.
bourbon.
3 ounces of bourbon and
3 ounces of high quality bourbon.
in
Today
a
we're using
pint
Jim Beam.
glass.
And we're putting it in a pint glass. That's 3 ounces, right?
But anyway, like to
I
make a
could
good.
drink. I could sit at the bar and drink that all night. Well, until I fall over. But
Well, yeah, it won't take long. It won't be long.
no, you wouldn't be all night with this.
But it's one of those drinks that, like an old fashioned, you can really appreciate, and there's a lot of subtleties in the way people
Right.
make them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if you're at a bar and you're having one, what I would do, and I do, what I do
what you do?
is when I order a drink that I like, rather than reordering it all over and over, I change this each time. Go through and try all the different whiskeys they have at the bar.
Especially if it's one that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, like I want what you made me with that. I want what you made me with that, and go through the list. That way, you're not always getting the same drink. You're always
Right.
getting something that's a little bit different, where you can appreciate the quality of the spirit.
And your bartender can probably appreciate your adventurousness.
Oh yeah, bartenders. I'm not a bartender, but I would be totally excited about a customer that's always kind of experimenting, because that's kind of what you're doing.
Someone who's into drinks.
Yeah, as opposed to just I want a vodka and cranberry.
It's like
Come on.
it's like if you're doing something you're passionate about, you don't want to just like if you're an artist, you don't just want to do screen printing of T-shirts all day.
Right, the same thing, or and like the street folks down in NOLA when they're doing like the spray paint art. No, like the ones that do like those are really cool. But when you look at what they're doing, they're only making 4 variants.
Right.
And they do the same ones all the time. Like how fun could that be? It'd be so much cooler if you could always experiment and do a different scene each time.
You'd think that would be neat.
But you want to be able to make money too. And people are like, I want that one.
And people want to see you do something cool and do it fast.
And if you can do it fast, if you've done it 100 million times. So I highly suggest you take this video as your template. If you say, I would love to be able to be a cool craft bartender, even if it's just as a hobby or an enthusiast thing, everything that this video represents is what you need to do. Make your own bitters, use a real good product, and create your clear ice, and create
Oh, look at that.
some pretty badass
No,
zesty.
twist.
That's weird. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you did that.
I'm inventing garnishes as we go.
That's a dude. You can invent your own drink with that thing. It's
Garnish
called
channel coming up next.
It's called the
The Slinky.
Slinky. I don't know if you need a whole channel, but you could just definitely do a whole series,
You could do a series on garnishes.
garnish series. Stay tuned for more of that.
Yeah.
All right, question of the day.
When the cats are away, the mouse will play.
What
The mouse
is
doesn't know how to use any of the equipment though. So.
what is the one thing about a cocktail that you're extremely passionate about? Is it the ice? Is it the garnish? Is it the specific recipe components, the ratios, the presentation, the glassware? What is the thing that when you or somebody serves it to you, you're like instant respect for whatever they did? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
Answer. I never asked it, so finally something I could do without recycling an old question.
It's tough to do. There's a lot of questions over the years.
Lastly, go to facebook.com/cocktailtv. Every episode you saw last week, I put all the VSOPs out there. They were all scheduled. I was gone. So it'll just continually grow. I also throw out the photos from some of my Instagram photos that I like out there, and whatever else updates for YouTube and stuff like that. So that's it, my friends. We are teaching you
How to arts and craft.
how to arts and craft. So let's do that. I'll just add everything in here, and we'll go. While I cut this, there's a little bit on some measuring by weight and volume.